The brush holder in your Makita cordless drill is an assembly consisting of 2 brush holders, a card that they are attached to, 2 brush springs, and a couple of wire leads. The brush holder assembly holds the carbon brushes at the proper location on the armature so they can transfer electricity to it. The brush springs apply tension to the brushes so they stay in constant contact with the armature. The wire leads bring electricity from the switch to the brush holders. Typically, the brush holder only needs to be replaced if the drill's motor has been overheated. Excess heat can melt or warp the plastic brush card. The brush springs, if overheated, will lose their tension. Look for signs of melted plastic or discolored brush spring wires. I'll begin by removing the battery. Now remove the rear cover. It's secured with 2 screws. Now I'll split the 2 housings. Now remove the brushes. I'll pull the brush spring out of the way, remove the brush clip, and then I can pull the brush from the holder. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. With the brushes removed, now I'll go ahead and lift the gearbox and motor assembly from the drill housing and slide the armature away from the brush card. Now I'll lift the switch out of the housing so I have access to the brush card connections on the switch. And I'll go ahead and pull these wires away from the switch, keeping track of where each wire goes. Now I can install the new brush card assembly. First I'll insert the wires back to the switch, the red wire to M1, and the black wire to M2. I'll place the switch back into the housings, making sure that I line up the change lever with the post on the reversing lever on the switch, and making sure that I get the wires tucked out of the way. Now I can place the motor and gearbox assembly back into the housing. This notch on the field needs to line up with a tab on the lower housing. So I'll rotate that around so it's on the side of the assembly. Now I can slide the armature through the brush card and lay the assembly back into the housing. And again, making sure the notch on the field lines up with the housing. Just like that. Now I'll tuck the heat sink back down into the housing. I want to make sure these wires go in front of this plastic post. One last check of all the wires. Don't want anything to get pinched as the housings go together. And now I can replace the housing and secure it. Now we'll replace the brushes. I'll pull the brush wires, or springs, up and out of the way, install the brush into the holder, secure its clip to the brush holder, and place the spring over the top of the brush. And I do this again on the other side. And now I'll just reattach the rear cap.